Yes, people, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're back again with another Give Back FC podcast, episode 2. If everyone could please like and subscribe to the Give Back TV channel. Firstly, I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves. I'll start from my left this time.
Marcus Richardson, former professional footballer.
AKA.
Just a person who's part of the community and likes to help out as much as I can.
Okay.
My name's Jalil, big Liverpool fan, love football in general, and just enjoying the chat with the lads about the football and whatnot.
Yeah, just to clarify, who are you playing for? Because you're not part of Give Back right now.
No.
I see the pressure already, man.
I play for Whitley Athletic in the
Yeah.
Premier Division, doing alright at the moment.
That's Shank Cooper Cup thing?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Is that the game? Was you living on red?
Yeah.
I thought you was. Out of the blue, just looked at me. Could you? Was you in it?
Yeah.
Can you roof the game
You're
like
happy,
that?
boy.
Well,
I'm gonna eat the ball.
yeah, always here for the Give Back family.
Use
Yeah.
that chocolate
Respect,
ball.
man. Over to you.
Yeah, so it's Gamza, big Arsenal fan, football fan in general, manager of Basingstoke under 15s, doing our thing this year, so and also manager Give Back as well. So yeah, just doing my thing still.
D-Roy,
Yeah.
Man United. That's it.
Sorry, I managed Blackpool Youth as well.
So, boys, this week, obviously, it's been quite live in the media regarding racism in football. Firstly, what we're going to touch upon is obviously the whole kneeling situation. There's been a few different opinions flying around, so we just want to kind of hear from you guys on your thoughts about kneeling, if you guys agree with it, disagree with it, and really, your thoughts behind it all. So if I start with D-Roy, what's your thoughts behind the whole kneeling situation? You're a fan, or do you not really?
I don't know. I'll be real. I don't know about the whole situation. Obviously, you got to get to the stem of the cause, but kneeling, I don't know what it's doing. It's showing obviously everyone's together, but I'm not 100% on it.
Okay. Is that been from the start, or is it a recent thing? Was you with it with the start? Or
Obviously,
from when it
because
started?
obviously it's with like the Black Lives Matter movement, but I think that football should have their own kind of movement. Obviously, they have the kick out. I think that should take precedent more than the Black Lives Matter. So with see now you got me stuttering. You got me stuttering, boy. edit that one out, boy.
No, what you saying is correct.
Yeah.
No, but I think with football, you should definitely just have the football authorities having the boost up the kick out, because it's like the kick out has now gone down to the Black Lives Matter, and the Black Lives Matter thing has taken over everything realistically. But we had to kick it out their years, and they've been putting in a lot of groundwork and a lot of hard work, like Garth Crooks and all. It was Garth Crooks, wasn't it? And all of them trying to do something, and they've just been overshadowed.
I mean, with Kick It Out, would you guys say like it's really changed anything? I mean, Kick It Out's been around for a long time, and has anything really changed? I mean, some people are saying if anything, it's got worse. So would you say there needs to be more done?
Yeah,
Not just Kick It Out.
There always needs to be more done, but then I also think there's always going to be racism. As much as you try and kick it out, it's not going to go. It's just, we just have to come to terms. It's part of life. As much as we don't want it to be there, it will always be there, because people just are born different and people have different views.
Yeah, that's right.
But as much as we can get it out, that's the best. I think that would be the best thing. But I think Kick It Out should be, where it comes to football anyway, Kick It Out should be the top thing, because they work. I think it's been like 10, 15, probably 20 years that they've been working, and now you don't even hear about it as much. Where the Black Lives Matter thing has come over and just taken over.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so to sum it up, you're just completely not with the whole kneeling situation, then basically.
I'm with it to an extent, but I think more could be done.
Okay, that's fair. Gamza, what's your thoughts?
I think they got good intentions.
Yeah.
But it seems tokenistic.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, it's a token gesture.
Yeah.
We all just do this, but that's all we're gonna do.
Do you think it's gonna change anything?
Not really. Don't think it has. There's been times where there has been opportunities to do more, hasn't been done. Think of the Millwall fans
Yeah.
where they booed when everyone kneeled.
There's a few teams there.
Yeah, and that's an opportunity to now say you're not having no one else in your stadium.
Mm.
Like your stadium shut down now. Do you know what I mean? And it's for me it just feels like tokenistic. Like every time you watch a match is we're in support, and it's kind of like, but are you? Because when man is getting racially abused, like the PSG match, look how long that still took for a man to walk off. Do you know what I mean? And then, yeah, I think the punishments have got to be harsher.
Trust me.
Again, I've seen people got bigger fines for walking off the pitch than the actual club in question, of the racist abuse. Some of you are young. Few of us will know when England, when the hooliganism was real bad, and I was a young boy them times. England, did they get kicked out of a competition or almost got kicked out?
So back in the day, obviously, that was, you talk about Liverpool in the European Cup
That was
sort of
it,
thing,
yeah.
when they wasn't allowed to play in Europe no more because of their hooliganism. So it's obviously, was it 1985, I think it was, 86 at that time there.
Yeah, so that's, to me, that's a stance they had to take because England fans were notorious for just going around and mashing up the place. So they managed to take the stance, and you would see the behaviour would start to improve because if your team's now getting punished by not going into UEFA Cup or Champions League, even now getting them relegated, whatever it is, there's stances you can take.
But have England ever been punished though?
Not, I think, well, let's say that happened years ago to Liverpool.
Yeah.
But
that happened to all English football, but it was because of Liverpool fans.
Okay.
Yeah. But I just think, I think it's very tokenistic, as in like we've got to tick a box, we've got to do our little bit to show we're supporting, but is it really supporting? I just don't think it is. Yeah. I'm not against it, but again, I feel it's very much you've got to do it. We're allowing this today. We're allowing this now, so you lot can do it. Do you know what I mean? So, sorry, when you look at like basketball, them man now the training tops, them man have got names on it. Do you know what I mean? I think it was tennis. That girl where every day she wore a different top, symbolising someone who had got killed by the police.
Even Lewis Hamilton was representing.
Yeah. So the Black Lives. I mean, so it's for me, it's kind of like. We allow you to do this. Yeah. Whereas I would still like to see, do you know what I mean? Certain man be saying, nah, do you know what? I'm wearing this training top. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever it is. So I think it's very much of, okay, look, we need to do something, so we just do that to look like we're doing a little bit. Yeah. But it's not enough. Do you know what I mean? Even when you look at the Rooney rule that got brought in. So if anyone doesn't know, it's for every time there's a management job at a club, they have to interview one black person. Yeah. Again, it's tokenistic because. I could say, come and get an interview, but I've got no intention of hiring the job. So it's just a tick box exercise, you know what I mean? And I think it goes to everything in life. Like I said, people know I do my job, I've done youth work stuff for years. And even my son said, why have they always got what ethnicity I'm on a form? Yeah. And I'm saying it's because it's a tick box. It's just to show that, we are engaging with black and brown or
I always just put other or...
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's just a tick box thing to say, So what they would do is go to the people above and say, look, we've had 15 black boys come into
why are we singling out? Why do you need to know? You know my name. Let's be honest. We shouldn't have to say our ethnicity and all stuff like that. We shouldn't have to use that. I think it's just, like you said, it's a lot to do with figures and stats, and we don't need that realistically. So,
So for me, I'm not against it. I'm happy something's been done. But now, in my mindset as well, I just think racist men are going to see it and say, "Oh, they can fucking go again." Like, do you know what I mean? It's got to that kind of level, even with some of the counselling stuff. I feel sometimes you can go too far with something. So it was good as a statement on that day or for the few weeks after COVID, but now it's like, well, can we progress that to something more? Yeah. So to keep kneeling means we ain't move forward from it. Do you know what I mean? So let's now do something different to symbolise that we've moved forward. Do you know what I mean? And again, if it comes down to England playing a mad country and they're booing, I need Harry Kane as captain to say, we're gone. Like, you know what I mean? That will now show me like, right, and that's going to make people stand up more than everyone kneeling and you know what I mean, doing the fist thing at the moment, because I think it's just maybe gone on too long. Do you know what I mean? So,
that's fair.
Me.
That's fair. Jalil, what's obviously your opinion, obviously being a white man yourself, like to hear your kind of opinion regarding the whole kneeling situation.
I agree a lot with Gums or what he was saying really. It's one of them situations like, you don't want it to just be done couple months or whatever for a season, and then this time next year another situation arises which brings everyone back to square one. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what we're seeing a lot in football. Even the other night with United players, do you know what I'm saying? They was getting roasted on the internet. And even other fans from other teams don't like seeing that, do you get what I'm saying? It's not just from, but like you said, man, what do we do at this point? It's going to get, I think it's a situation that's got to get ugly before it gets better. Like, it's going to get to the point where, forget COVID, like, the fans and the players will put a standstill to football. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it'll get to that. I think it would keep going, man, because England, we get it, like, some of the London clubs and that are a bit deep-rooted with this shit, you get what I'm saying? But in some countries like Turkey, Italy and that, it's like, they're a long way away from. Do you get what I'm saying?
Why are we saying they're a long way away? As in, because we don't know. England, sorry to sort of tell you, when I say long way away, is we only know what we know, if that makes sense. Because we supported on them. Yeah, so you remember, we watched English TV, and then when we watched Italy or Spain or whoever we watch, it's only like a brief, if that makes sense. So when we see it, we think, it's got to be bad over there. It might be no different. You understand? We're just thinking of at that moment, if that makes sense.
I don't know. Hey, I might be wrong, but like just a lot of situations I've seen, like Spain, Italy, like Balotelli, man, he put on for Italy many a times, but he never got love out there. He never got love out there. Do you know what I'm saying? Look who was it? Another league, Spain. Dani Alves. Put in work for Barcelona for years. Look what he done for Brazil. Man gets bananas thrown at him. Do you get what I'm saying? So it kind of shows like, no matter how good football player you really are, but you don't escape this. Do you get what I'm saying?
Many sort of people behind your generation sort of things, that makes sense. So England faced this from the 70s, 60s, or the 60s, 70s, 80s, you understand, 90s, whatever. And then you're talking about Spain, who never really, or Italy, never had so many black people at their country at that time, if that makes sense. Now it's, it's like being flooded now. So they're thinking, well, where are all these people coming from? That sounds bad, but it's new for them. And everybody hates new. We hate new. You know what I mean? We're comfortable doing what we got to do, if that makes sense. And then when we got to do something new that's a little bit uncomfortable, we sort of think, should we do that way or that way? So we always, I feel like people's always uncomfortable with new. You understand?
It's not, like, I swear like, he wasn't really around my time when I was playing, but I swear like, man like Sterling's getting the same sort of treatment of what John Barnes and them man used to get, isn't it? Like,
I think what it is now, I think then, and I think with Spain, Italy is more open. They don't care to understand. They don't care to voice their opinion in that way. I think in England it's more behind closed doors. Do you know what I mean? And again, I think, sorry to just go off on one, I feel, don't know how you guys feel, has the social media stuff got worse now there's no fans in the stadiums?
That's a good point.
Because they can't vent, innit?
They can't vent in the stadium. So again, it might be one or two will say their little thing in the stadium and it's done. But now, because there's no one in football, is it now we're seeing more social media? It seems like a trend. Because it's like, as I said, the whole thing with now Rashford, Martial, who's the centre back? Tuanzebe, was it?
Tuanzebe,
Like, it just seems like it's a trend. Like, do you know what I mean? They don't necessarily play bad, but it's just like, I'm just going to go at them because I can.
You see who I rate Rashford. You see how he dealt with that?
100.
Different. He dealt with that. Different. I'm not even airing. You see, like where man was showing everyone the screenshots. He's like, I'm not even giving them the time. Like they're trying to get props off me putting that on there. Like, they'll be stepping inside. That was me. I did that. It's like, bro, this is this shouldn't be highlighted. By highlighting it, it's also bringing it out more again. Like we just say, yo. Done. You can't tell me nothing about me that I don't know about myself already. You get me?
But the problem is that you shouldn't have to, innit?
That's true. But then what I'm saying, he's not highlighting it.
He's not giving them the energy. The attention's not on them.
And even what you said at the end about the followers that he's got, because he's more thinking about, he's got so much people of different colours and young generation as well. You don't really want them to see that. And you don't want to give that energy back because it's like you're giving what they want. That reaction is kind of in a way what they want.
Yeah.
So the way I think Rashford's definitely a future England captain.
He's done really well for himself.
The way he's going on the pitch and off the pitch, he's a great role model.
He's moving like Beckham.
Yeah.
in a different way.
Yeah,
you are right.
He's
You are
getting
right.
to that.
His professionalism is on another level.
You could just see he was brought up good.
Yeah, and
He's got manners.
yeah, but you hear that through when his mum spoke as well. You understand the professionalism of Rashford is up there. You know how he represents himself, how he talks and everything. You can see he's like a well-educated kid. To be fair, so when he comes across and says what he's got to say, it knocks you back and like, wow, like this guy here, I connect with him, and he knows this.
To be fair, he's yet to be a Rooney and do a madness for the papers or anything.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we move on to Marcus. What's your opinion, obviously, with the whole Nina situation?
I'm going to have a little different opinions, so I think slightly you lot over there, to be fair. Like, sorry, I'm going to have to talk about a little bit of the history when I was playing. Sorry, Nate. You know, you say kick it out, blah, blah, blah. I went through certain experiences of racism, you understand, in the game throughout nearly all my time playing, if that makes sense. I'm not saying it was happened within the clubs or whatever. I'm saying, obviously, I played against players or whatever. And
is this on the pitch or off the pitch?
On the pitch and off the pitch.
Okay.
So you come across certain things and you feel like, you know, we know, if that makes sense. You know, sometimes like a person may feel like, I'm sort of indirectly racist, but they feel like we don't know. And we've sensed this before, you understand? Now, when you're talking about the kneeling at this moment of time, let's talk about that point at this moment of time. I know you talked about D-Roy, about kick out of football. Like, I don't want to say this in a bad way. I feel like Black Lives Matter, the kneeling's got more attention than that did. Why is that a bad thing? What I'm trying to say is, why can't we all do something to make this movement go forward? Understand? Only because you're a different organisation, you know, you're still representing, yes, we're all trying to meet here, you understand? But if we have to go down this, you're going down that way and I'm going down that way to make it work, why not? So I'm saying to you at this moment of time, yes, this kneeling thing, you're talking about, I believe, I might be wrong with the stats, what I'm saying, 75% of people are kneeling. So before, you're talking about kick out of football, I'm saying to you, they just put on a shirt. That's all you did, you just put on a shirt on. They didn't know what they was wearing that shirt, they didn't care about the shirt, you understand? Now, when they're kneeling, they're taking into account, like, I'm doing this because of this. You understand? And I know you're not going to say, a shirt says, you're doing it because of this. But I'm saying, you know, I've had to wear the shirt. I forgot what that shirt was on at one time. Do you understand? I'm not thinking about the shirt.
Sorry, just to cut you, do you feel, though, it's a case of we've all got a nil? So even if just say I'm a racist man, I don't want no one to know I'm racist. Well, I'm just going to bust a little bit. It don't really mean that to me. I'm still going to be in your ear and say whatever I need to say or whatever it is, isn't it? So, and that's where my thing is with the whole thing. It's good. There's nothing wrong with it, but are we moving forward, or is it just a case of we're doing that to show the ticker box as the FA?
Most things, let's be honest, most things we do is the tick boxes, isn't it?
It's like literally the whole thing with the kneeling, that has come from obviously the American thing. Because remember, was it Colin Kaepernick? Who did that first, didn't it?
He got dashed
out. Blah, blah. So it come to a point now when obviously the George Floyd thing happened. It highlighted everything that was going on, and everybody then decided, we can't not seem to be doing this. That's why I'm saying with the Black Lives Matter. That's why I was like, they should have. What they could have done was work with the kick it out, maybe, and incorporated some of that into them, and then help that organisation grow as well.
And but what you're saying is, I think that's the problem with him. Being honest, if that makes sense. We always, I don't want to say it in no bad way. I feel like we do things that for each other, if that makes sense. You understand? And what you just said, why not me speak to Mo and say, Mo, why don't we get together? Why are we being distant about this? Why can't we work together to make this? Because let's be honest, we're going to be stronger together than apart. You understand? So, you know, everybody's going to have different opinions on this, and I'm not saying no one's wrong, because no one is wrong. You understand? And you know, and this is what people's got to understand. We're going to do things in certain ways, and all of us are going to do things. What we're going to look at. You might look at me and think, "Wow, what are you doing?" Understand? And I think it's right for the reason of that situation I'm doing at that time. If that makes sense. So I understand everybody. I try to be as open-minded as I can be in life now, as I've got a little bit older, and I still look about your age, as I said, but as I've got older, as I've got older, I've tried to be as open-minded as I can. Understand? So I understand, like, you know what, you know, when you talk about racist people, you know, when they were kids, you know, you see it. Two little toddlers, a white kid and a black kid. The white kid's not going to be racist to the black kid. It's sort of what you get taught. The environment on what you've been sort of taught. You understand? But you say, what could you do? You know, people say schools, blah blah blah. I said to someone the other day, schools can't really do much, because when you leave school, you got to go back home to your parents doing that way. So how do you go about things? And you know, it's going to take. It's not going to be. It might not be in our time. This is going to stop. Do you understand? But we may set it in stone for the future. Do you understand? So if we're putting things in place, yes, it could help for the future. So I think you're going to have mixed opinions about this, no matter what. And when I think about the kneeling thing, from obviously from when I was playing a few years ago, I think it, to me, you know, I'm not part of it no more, as in on a professional setup. You understand? But what I see looks like, to me, it looks like it's moved forward a little bit. You understand? So that's why when I look at it, I think, oh yeah, that's not bad. You've seen everyone kneeling, everybody seems to be cooperating with it, you know. And don't get it twisted, I've played for players, you know, who were racist. You understand? Well, I wouldn't say they were racist as such, but I had a player who told me one time their mum and dad's racist, and they couldn't believe that their parents were speaking to me. You understand? And I was like, what? And I was sitting down, genuinely like how we are now, you know, speak with the parents, and then we come from there, and the man said to me, oh, I'm sure surprised my mum and dad spoke to you, Marcus. I said, oh, why is that? Oh, they're racist. What? Racist? I would have never got that impression. Do you understand? But these things does happen, and I got told that from the son. So you got to understand, like, you know, as you get older, you've got to learn how to, you know, speak to people better. Do you understand? And maybe make them understand, because you can't speak to someone who hasn't been educated.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, touching upon obviously with what you and D-Word spoke about with the kick-out situation. I don't know if any of you guys saw, but Michael Richards done a documentary recently about racism in football and what he experienced. And the same thing you said about the whole wearing a shirt, he was speaking with Gary Neville. And Gary Neville's just raw with what he says, and he admitted, he said, look, I wore this shirt and I didn't even really give a crap. You know what I mean? I pulled it on, I took it off, and we're back laughing, and there's no real meaning. So do you reckon that's the same thing maybe with the kneeling? A lot of these players are just doing it for the sake of it.
And as you know, said, I think you're right. I'm not going to dispute what you're saying, but you know, the kick-out thing was once a year or twice a year. This kneeling thing at once a year or thing. This is every week. So it's like you now. It's like you training to be a basketball player or whatever. You're only going to get better through repetition. Do you understand? So now each week, every Saturday and Tuesday, they've got a game. They're kneeling. So it's repetition. So while we're doing this, we might do this. We might shake our head, or put our eyes up in the head or whatever, right? But it's repetition. I know why I'm doing this. I got just before the whistle, I've got to get my knee. Or should I say the whistle?
With it, just for instance, football terms. I played. I'm managing. When it comes, little things. a little bit. When it comes to Remembrance Day, we all have to stand around in a semicircle. What's your thoughts when that's happening? Personally, what's your and let's just be as honest as we can because, again, was you thinking about the war? And this is why I'm saying, is it like this now where it's a thing, we all had to do it, referee will call, we'll do a minute.
Yeah.
Now I know sometimes I'm looking across the thing and I see a man trying not to bust up and I'm just smiling at
exactly
him.
That.
Or whatever it is. So it's the same thing, we've done it out of respect, but
where it didn't really directly affect us.
Yeah,
we didn't really pay it too much mind.
Yeah, you just do it.
But obviously, you have respect for what was going on. Obviously, people lost their lives, innit? So you have to have respect for that. But where it didn't directly affect us, because not really our culture, even though it is, because some of our
in a way, it did.
Some of our grandparents probably
we come over from that. You know,
exactly.
We come over to England,
but we didn't. As we were probably young them times, so we didn't really understand the full thing.
I wasn't born in time. I don't know about you. I was born.
You were trying to be young, innit?
He was talking about something, about these times, but I wasn't around them times.
I'm not talking about that. I was saying when we was doing the tick around the circle, innit? We was young. We were younger those times.
So you still do that now, though.
Yeah, so even like say the
I don't
poppy
really play that much anymore. So yeah. But you see,
to the poppies and everything, can it? Do you know what I mean? It's for some people it's probably tokenistic. I've got to put a poppy on. Again, that's on the front of the shirt. When obviously pro game it'll be on the shirt. Does people really care about it? Do you know what I mean? And even that now, you would have German players in England having to wear the poppy on their shirt.
But some refuse. Some refuse.
So yeah, and this is the whole thing with Pep, wasn't it? When he had his Catalonia little badge on, and he got fined for it. And this is my thing: it's the hot topic now, so they've got to be showing we got to support Black Lives Matter and the rest of it. But when Pep had his thing with Spain, and he wanted to represent his country. They didn't allow it, and it's like, well, you're not even letting man have a little bit of freedom of speech, or do you know what I mean? So that's what I think to me is just a tokenistic tick box. Do you know what I mean? Okay, we got on this date we got, you know what I mean, Black History Month, so we're going to do this. On this month we've got wear the poppies. Do you know what I mean? And but at the same time now, if someone was to say something about, just say, I don't know, a player had a granddad who died in the war, and someone was to say something about that, I wonder if the punishment would be worse than what we're hearing for these guys saying stuff to black people. Do you know what I mean? Because I look at, for instance, the Wiley situation where he spoke about the Jewish people, and the way they got onto him, do you know what I mean? And you see it a lot with other things. Some people say the wrong thing, and take it out of context. Nick Cannon was another one, and he got it bad. Do you know what I mean? So
it's done, boy.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, I'm not saying it's right and wrong. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying we should be able to say what we want about other people. We all got to be careful of what we say. But it seems like there's punishments for others more severe. And do you know what I mean? And that's my issue. As I said, the Millwall thing was a perfect example. We're all kneeling. And you've allowed that to go. I didn't even hear what happened after that. They should have made a real statement. If they said to them, man,
they probably make more of a statement about the Cavani thing than they did about that.
Now, do you know what? Yeah, to be fair, I heard something that come out from their club, and also I was listening to the feedback on TalkSport from their fans, and a lot of them, 90% of what I was hearing is like, we're okay to do it because it's freedom of speech. That's their whole thing. If we want to boo because we don't agree with it, how is that wrong? They're like, we're not racist. Obviously, they're going to say that, innit? But their whole thing is freedom of speech.
And that's where it's difficult, isn't it? Because you're going to punish Pep for what he believed in. Ozil potentially could have got punished for what he believed in. But then, again, yes, it's very hard to police a 20,000 seat stadium, do you know what I mean? But at the same time, something needs to be done. That was a perfect opportunity. Again, when it comes to Juventus and the match scamming, they got relegated, points deduction. If your club goes into administration, so we're not even going to help you, but we're going to punish you by deducting you points. So now you're going to go lower in the league, probably get relegated, so your revenues have gone down again. Burying them teams, they almost folded. But yeah, these man here are doing something like that, and you're not even going to take a point away. Like, do you mean, how can you be punished for not being able to financially afford something? But that can, do you know what I mean?
And sometimes correct.
But sometimes it needs a strong statement for people to say, actually, do you know what? I ain't gonna do that again. My mum was disciplined. And sorry, Terence, I'm gonna tell a little story about you. My brother got caught thieving. He got caught doing a little madness. On August the 25th. I'll tell you the date, August the 25th, and that's because it was the day before his birthday. He got grounded from August the 25th until he finished his GCSEs. Now, I'm 3 years younger than him. You think I've done what he done? I didn't need to see for myself. I saw what happened to him. I didn't need to see. So if Millwall get a treatment, you think Burnley are saying, yo, all right, let's do it as well, because they're thinking, boy, we can't afford to lose them 10 points.
What you're saying, I agree with, but let me ask you a quick question, from that bit there. I'm playing for Burnley, and I need to get, and Fulham are close to me. I might send Mo down there to make this a club scene. Mo, don't worry, I'll give you a little 500 grand or something, to change. And then next thing you go and do what you got to do, you might get a 6 months year in prison. Do you understand? You might not get nothing, but I'm saying to you, you might get 6 months year in prison. Now, I think there's a lot of people who would do that.
Do
you understand? So you've got to remember that that bit there, you've got to be a little bit more,
I know what you're saying. You can't, because it would create that feel of, boy, alright, let's punish them lot. If we go over there just as Man United fans and do a madness, then, do you know what I mean?
Won't get much at Man United, but
So going back to the whole Poppy situation, obviously, Jalil, what's your whole thoughts behind it all?
Obviously
your angle's going to be different.
Man of British, innit, bro? So obviously, bro, man of family, people from my family and whatnot that was involved in the war and whatnot. Do you get what I'm saying? So for that, man's thankful, but just...
I'll tell you what then, because I want to talk from my angle. If someone didn't kind of, not respect it, but didn't really, like D-Roy said, it's not from my culture or whatever, would you understand that? If you put yourself in that person's shoes...
Wait.
Go on.
Before you say that, because you're making me out to sound like I don't care.
You care.
You care? Is that how I said that?
You care.
When I said it like that, what I meant was, obviously it didn't directly affect me, but what I was trying to say is you still have to respect everyone else's...
that's what I'm saying.
Like religion... Everything. Everyone should... For progress, you have to respect everyone else's thing. You may not agree with it, but you have to respect it.
100.
We're just going to clarify that now.
I mean, I'm going to be honest here, talking from my angle now, I'm half German. And I'm Jamaican. My dad's German, my mum's Jamaican.
That mix up.
So, I faced, not really with football, but more in school and stuff, a lot of racism from both angles. It was mad. Like, I'm getting abused for being German by black people, Asian people, white people, and then I'm getting not as much abuse, to be fair. But
how many people know you were German?
Pardon?
What did you come from Germany?
No, my dad's German. My last name is blatant. Don't even mention my last name. Don't put my last name. I'll tell you my last name. But my name's Matt. My name is
I was ready to pop that one out.
So like my whole thing, like when it comes to like the Poppy situation, like Leroy said, like man respect it, innit? Like man was born and raised in England, you understand, and this is man's home, innit? And get me, I've got British friends, so I have to respect their culture and their family heritage and whatnot. So I respect it in that angle.
That's what I do with D-Roy as well.
But I mean, like you said, it is what it is. It's one of them things where I don't think anyone would really refuse, or you'd have to be kind of like
real ignorant, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to be ignorant to just be like, no, I'm not involved with that, or it's a bit of a, do you know what I mean? A bit of a strange one.
I'm glad you covered yourself because it came across that way.
I had to make sure, but how he said that, I was like, yo.
No.
Tomorrow I got the hate mobs at my door, boy. The PDO and them things out.
Man's got them more trolls at home than they get you.
So, I'm going to go into something different then. While we're talking about England and culture and different backgrounds, racism and whatnot, obviously we're all born here, but some of us, our parents are not from here or whatnot. When it comes to Marcus made it pro, if we all made it pro and we got a chance to represent our country, would you represent England? Would you represent your heritage? Personally, if I start with Marcus, obviously, if you got to that stage, what would you do?
Everyone's going to say the same thing.
I don't know, you know.
You know what it is, right? If you're a footballer, let's first of all talk about as if you're a footballer. And the person you can use a perfect example with, right, is Clinton Morrison. Do you understand? So when you looked at him and
he's Irish, isn't it?
He's far from Irish, but
he
did, yes.
Yeah, but I mean,
but what I'm trying to say to you is, I bet if we asked him, he'd say, "Oh yeah, it was my great."
Yeah.
So, but what I'm trying to say to you with him, like what I said, use him as a perfect example. You know, as a kid growing up, if you wanted to be a professional footballer, you dream of all these things. Do you understand? So, and the things you're dreaming of is scoring in the FA Cup final, most probably when I was younger. You know what I mean? Scoring in the World Cup final. Do you understand? These things there. So when you're young now, and you get to a certain age, and you notice right there, it wasn't sort of how I planned, if that makes sense. So I now want to play at the World Cup, but realistically, I'm not good enough to play for England.
Okay,
do you understand? I'm not good enough to play for whoever. Well, I might be good enough to play for IE Barbados. You understand, right? But it's Barbados that are going to get to the World Cup.
Yeah. Do they even have a team?
You're applying for that, you know.
Right, but that's what I'm saying to you. So you're looking at, you want to play a World Cup.
Yeah.
Now, you're getting the opportunity to play in a World Cup. This is once maybe a lifetime opportunity, and this may not occur. So, I don't think anybody hates a person like who's going to go play for England, because if I'm good enough to play for i.e. England and go play in the World Cup, and maybe no disrespect, playing for England or playing for Jamaica, who's going to win it, or who's got a better chance of winning it? You can look at. So look, Sterling was born in Jamaica, but Sterling plays for England.
His mum was vexed when he picked England.
He most probably was, but you've got to look at the big picture, Mum. I'm going to go and play it on a world stage. I'm most probably, at the time when he went and played for England, he was most probably one of the best youngsters in the world. Do you understand? So now he's one of the best youngsters in the world. He now's got the opportunity to play for his country. Now, deep down, I don't know Sterling, and I cannot talk for him. By the way. But Sterling most probably would love to play for Jamaica. You understand? But am I going to get the same opportunity playing in the World Cup, maybe winning the World Cup? Because let's be honest, when England got knocked out at the World Cup, it's because Sterling came off, in my eyes, against Croatia. Because he wasn't scoring, but he was giving them all sorts of problems.
Because it's also the Harry Kane
no, I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that, but they took him off, you understand? Where when they brought on whoever they brought on, was it Rashford or someone they brought on?
I can't remember.
Or Farley. I can't remember. They brought on someone, and it wasn't the same effect as what Sterling was giving, where this Croatia centre half now was getting pinned back, but now the person who's coming on, he's now stepped up 20 yards up the pitch, where he doesn't have to mark you because you're not as quick or whatever as Sterling. So I'm saying to you, you've got the opportunity to play in a World Cup. And let's be honest.
Do you think that outlays your actual beliefs as a person, though? Like playing in a World Cup.
At least, right. And I'm
not downgrading it, but personally, I reckon
it
it's
comes
all about you in it as principles is what you.
It comes down to coaching as well. So who's going to have the better coaches? You understand? So who's going to give a better outlay of how to sort of be Argentina, for example, if that makes sense. So, unless I said to the Jamaican players, hate to say it about Jamaica, but Jamaica's the one who's got most of the better players in England, you understand? So if you want to stand half a chance, I would have to go around and speak to all the Jamaicans and say to them, look, if you do join Jamaica and you join Jamaica, we're 9 times out of 10 going to be in a better position to qualify for the World Cup. And what I mean by that is, the only teams who you'd be worried about is USA and Mexico. Now, Mexico might be the more problem, but I'm saying USA, and you're coming from England, you're supposed to be a better footballing, grounding you've had to beat them. Now, no disrespect to USA, I'm saying to you. So, it's difficult. It's very difficult. It's about dreams. As a kid, you want to fulfil your dreams. So that's the bit I'm saying what's difficult, because these are what D-Roy that would tell you. I stick up for my sleeping. I know I tell you, I'm in groups arguing hard. Understand? And don't get it twisted. I know most of the time, realistically, we ain't got the same.
Athleticism.
We ain't got the same sort of things as Jamaica, yeah. What makes Jamaica more on a, you know,
higher level.
No. on a like sort of better scale on things, you understand?
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say to you is, you know, knowing you know, you could go and play for Jamaica and you've got all these players. Imagine I said to all these are world class players winning the Champions League, blah blah. And I said to these guys, let's go play for Jamaica, and they guys all say, yeah, we've just come from rank 120 or whatever they are, maybe to now a top 30 team in the world or a top 50 team in the world. Yeah. What makes a massive difference? So it's difficult, and you know, as I said, people's gonna have different opinions about, but to be playing in a World Cup, and I might not get this opportunity again, you know. One-off situation. Dion Burton got lucky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He scored goals. Dion Burton. Next minute, he's playing for Jamaica. Next minute, in the World Cup. Now, he would talk about what a great time it was. You understand? I remember Jamaica getting knocked out straight away. You get me?
I went to watch it, guys.
Yeah.
My mum went to France to watch when they played Argentina. Yeah, I was vexed. They didn't give me a ticket and went out there, guys.
Oh, right.
And Robbie Earl scored that only goal. It was like carnival, trust me. One goal as well, you know. It was like, we're not used to that.
Yeah. So, and I understand that, and that's what I'm trying to say to you. So look at what you're saying, you're not used to it. Yeah. So you've now got opportunity to play for Jamaica or play for England. And when I said I used Clinton Morrison, who had the opportunity to go and play for Ireland, who's quite a recognised team at that time, to go and play the World Cup. That's something you dreamed of as a kid.
Yeah.
It's progression, isn't it?
It's called a no-brainer.
It's progression. They're going to get you there where you want to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
What I will say is, I totally agree with what you're saying, to be fair, and given that situation, I don't know what I'm picking. Again, same thing I always say to my son all the time, would you play for Tottenham? Yeah. And he can be like, Dad, I would have to, but I might score a couple of own goals though, you know, just to keep it out of me. So, but again, do you know what I mean? It's like that, you got to do what you got to do. So if you've got the opportunity, you want to take it. But sometimes there needs somebody to turn around and say, yo, I'm going over there. Like, do you know what I mean? I know Saka, people were crying for him to go and play for Nigeria. Obviously, he chose England. Again, probably born and bred in England. But sometimes it just takes one. So in America, I'm not sure if everyone knows how the college schemes work and things like that for their sports, but in basketball, there's one kid who's like 16, 17, and he's like top 3 picks of his age. So he knows he's more than likely going to go to NBA. So what it would be is they will now go to the top white colleges and go and play their basketball, and then we'll go NBA. When you look at the finances them colleges get from wherever it is, because he's such a big attraction, they get paid millions. And them boys at that age can't earn money in it. They can't have agents, can't earn money. But the college gets all the money for it. So them colleges, them top 5 colleges make millions. Millions, like, I think it's like 20 million a season or something like that. He took a stance and said, you know what, I'm going to go to a black college. Because more than likely, we haven't got the same facilities, but more than likely, I'm going to go to the NBA anyway.
Generate the money through there.
So let me come down here, you come and bring the money down here. So now, again, I'm not saying this to everybody, because if I'm, on the verge, I might make it, I might not. You might have to go to the best college to make sure you get what you need. Do you know what I mean? Education-wise and sports-wise, you get like, do you know what I mean? You might need the best physio rooms, you need the best facilities. You might need that, but for them ones that are top 5, who kind of know, like how Zion was, he already knew Zion was going. So now for him to go back to a college like that, it says something. All of a sudden, now then college is going to get a bit more money. Now, do you know, we can rival that college and get the better equipment, better facilities. So same thing you're saying, do you know what I mean? If one person took a stance and said, yo, I'm going across there. My man, when you come through, look, come over here, this is what we're building. Also with that, how much black men have now played for England? But see Dion Burton, he probably got a better legacy in Jamaica for what he did than what 100 black men did for England. And sometimes that might mean more, again, depending how connected you are to the country. Like, if you've never been back there, it's a bit different. But, do you know what, he's a man now who could probably walk down the road and, do you know what I mean, is recognised all over and has that legacy and that connection with his country, do you know what I mean? So, yes, for the dreams and ambitions, and again, I'm not saying for everybody, because, do you know what I mean? Some people are going to say, yo, for my career, I just want to do boom, 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 meet my goals, and that's what they want to do, and that's totally fine. And some people might have that thought of, say, the same as Kaepernick. Kaepernick's kneeled, the man said, you kneel again, you lose your job. And I said, "Sure, it's something bigger than my job right now." Do you know what I mean? And it's the same thing with that. Again, Barbados, I don't know how much man we got out there to do that. But I do think the countries like Nigeria, Jamaica, who have got an influx of, do you know what I mean, good talented footballers, it would be nice. Even when you look at France's team.
That's what I was going to say, France.
And I back France.
A lot of
France's
them
team
are
support.
from African countries. Yeah.
Bro, I looked at a thing earlier, they had like 6 men in that team who was from Ivory Coast. And I'm saying, imagine if all them 6 went over there, because they've already got Pepe and Saha and a couple of other good ballers in there. So imagine...
Does that come down to coaching as well?
Partly, and again, they probably grew up in France, went through all the youth club, they probably went through the under-15 France national team. But again, does it need to be something? Because again, it's not fair on some of the smaller nations, because the bigger nations pick what they want. A bit like with football in general. Again, where Brentford dropped their academy because they're saying, yo, we're competing with Arsenal, Chelsea, Fulham, Reading. These are all Cat 1s. We're Cat 3. There's no point having an academy. What we do, we just pick up the scraps at the end. So with them smaller countries, it might be worthwhile having separate competitions where for people with dual passports can go and play. So there might be a Caribbean Cup. So Sterling and that can say, yo, I'm going to go for Jamaica now and go and do his thing. Do you know what I mean? For Jamaica represent. But then still qualifies England. But a bit like cricket and stuff, isn't it? Where you have, do you know what I mean? West Indies will have a Barbados team and a St. Vincent team and a Jamaican team. But they come together as the West Indies. Do you know what I mean? So there's things that could be done potentially. I don't know, again, it wouldn't be a UEFA kind of competition because obviously they've got their rules and regulations, but what you're seeing now is a lot more independent stuff going on. So I think, do you remember that cricket competition where that man just put down mad money and he said, like, I'm inviting all the best cricketers to come to the West Indies and you play for a team and whoever wins it takes the money. Then he got locked up a few years later, innit? So there's no reason why, do you know what I mean? Someone couldn't do the same thing with the Caribbean or in Africa. And
just don't get locked up though, don't
yeah, don't do that for us. But do you know what I mean? Just do something different. Or even now, when Sterling is playing for England, put something little Jamaica on his boots or something to show you, do you know what I play for England.
I'm sure he does that.
Yeah, I think he did.
He got the flag on his.
Because I know Mo Farah does a lot of things like that.
Henry did it when he asked for the West Indies. Martinique or something.
Yeah. I know Mo Farah and usually athletes, they would do that, have the Great Britain flag and have the other country
as well.
On it. Do you know what I mean? So just represent, and don't get me wrong, I know a lot of them do a lot for the communities and stuff. I've got no doubt that Sterling and them lot will do a lot for Jamaica. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But again, even for them, I think they will probably enjoy. But yeah, I think there's nothing better than if you give me the choice of vibes of going to a Jamaican team or going to an England team. You know the vibe. When I watch a Wobi on the bus in Nigeria, that man is on a mad one when they're out there. So, you know what I mean? But personally, I just think it's a difficult choice, isn't it? Depending on what your country is. But yeah, it would be nice to see. Do you know what I mean? A Jamaica in the World Cup again, as much as I'm Bajan.
I think it's going to happen. Jamaica seem like they're on form right now.
Yeah.
They've got, what's his name?
Ravel
Morrison.
But he ain't got a club no more.
Man ain't got a club to play for Jamaica still, guys.
Bailey.
Yeah, Lil Bailey is a bad boy still.
Bailey should be in the Prem.
He should be in the Prem.
Yeah, for Arsenal United,
Leroy, I want to hear your side.
Who I choose?
Yeah, who you choosing?
I'll be real, I don't know.
You lied to me.
But I actually stuck it on me as well like that. I don't know, I'll be real.
So you got opportunity to
you're good enough to play for England.
Good enough to play for England and you could go back and play for Jamaica. You got opportunity to play in the World Cup for both countries.
Yes.
You understand? And because you've got this opportunity now to play for Jamaica in the World Cup and play for the nation of your mum and dad.
Yes.
Yeah, by the way. Yeah.
You said the wrong thing, you're going to get real. He set up in such a way, you can't even ask that one way, bro.
Your grandparents, etc.
You can't go Caesars or Perry.
And you know what the situation is? What's going to happen, Leroy? You're going to get knocked out first round of the World Cup. You're not going to qualify for the next stage. But you go to England, who's going to qualify.
No, you don't know that.
Iceland situation.
He's doing the best of it.
Hypothetically, you're right. There's no real thing to say England's going to qualify. But 9 times out of 10, let's be honest, they come through the group stages. You understand? So you've got an opportunity to play for them. You're going to play with, some of the greatest ballers in the world. You understand? Who plays for England? Let's be honest. You understand? So you've got the opportunity to play for them. Not saying you might not have some of the best players in the world playing for Jamaica if they all came together. But if your first thought said to you yourself, wait there, I've got an opportunity to play for Jamaica, I've got an opportunity to play for England. First thought. Don't think, because you're not thinking about it. Yeah. First thought.
Yeah, if I was there. I know where it's going already.
No, I'm not asking you where it's going. I'm not asking you where it's going. I'm asking you.
Exactly. So I know where my mind's going.
Okay.
I'm a proud Jamaican. I love my culture. I love my heritage. But 9 times out of 10, I would probably pick England to play for.
Okay.
If I'm a world class player, Perry's for my man,
yeah, bottom of the pot.
If I'm a world class player, I want to surround myself with world class players to bring me up again. To bring myself up to another level, isn't it?
So it's all about progression in your career, basically.
So what is a career about?
Progression, but I'm saying you're using England to get you further than if
I was born and raised here as well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, as much as obviously my family's all Jamaican, and I love my country. Like, I am Jamaican, but I'd happily play for Jamaica. But I'm saying, what would I get further in? What would I get further in?
And depending on the level as well, because you look.
That's what I'm saying.
You look at someone like Giggs. He's talked amongst certain ranks, but it's like it's against him. He never made it to a World Cup. Do you know what I mean? So,
and he could have played for England.
Yeah. And until there, England were crying out for a left.
That's the worst thing. Had Paul Scholes, Gerrard, all them, and now.
Yeah.
But it's not even like it's something against Jamaica. Look at Raheem Sterling, for a fact. He was born and raised in Jamaica. Yeah. But he knew that he come here, he's got his goal, innit?
So you're basically saying...
Or you're going to pick England?
You're going to choose England for personal gains?
That's what I'm saying, all that for using them as a tool to progress.
Let me give you your corner, guy. I don't want to come...
No, I'm just asking the question. I'm just asking the question. I'm sorry if I come across...
No, it's fine. It's fine. If I had a chance to win a World Cup with England, I'm taking it.
Okay.
100%.
So it's personal gains?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I picked my second country though.
Oh, you would?
Go on.
Yeah.
Well,
who's that? Ireland. Go on. Yeah.
I never said I wouldn't pick Jamaica, but I'm saying if I was an elite football player,
you pick England.
I'm gonna go with England.
Go on. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I can respect man like Leon Bailey. He's probably just below elite. He's a really good football player, and he stuck with Jamaica because he could have played for England as well. But he stuck. Yeah. Like he could have. I don't know if he's English, but somehow he could have played for England. Because they were trying to get him to sign. But he said, "No, I'm going to play for Jamaica." Because he's born and raised there. But
that's another L.
But this is the problem.
But yeah, it's a problem because Jamaica's not going to get better because obviously bigger teams are gonna.
Yeah, because so you would say, don't get me wrong, I could be wrong here. Yeah, am I fair enough to say you could be part of the problem?
Yeah, but I could be part of the problem. But what I'm saying is, he's not sticking on me. But what I'm saying is, everybody can say something until the time comes. Like we could all be sat here. I'll pick Jamaica. Blah 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 blah. But when it's actually there on the plate in front of you, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm just gonna be honest with myself.
Yeah. But why? Like we said, we was talking about racism, and we said it's going to take most probably time. You understand? Before this, and it's most probably not going to be around our generation.
Yeah, that's true.
We might not see this. So what I'm trying to say to you, speaking like I'm your age, you get me? What I'm saying to you, is when are we going to make the stance? When are we going to make that difference? When are we going to say, wait there, no. I know you want me to play for you, but I'm representing my roots, my country. You understand? And you know what? I might not get that opportunity. So it might take someone like me, to go around and speak to all these football players. I might be speaking to the Jamaican FA, and they're the ones who's come to me, say, could you play for me? I say to them, who have you got to play for? We're going to try and go and get this blah, blah, blah. All right, why don't you take me along with you when you're going to see these people? So if we can now hold a meeting, like how we are now, and there's 5 or 6 of us here now, and I'll get 5 or 6 of you to play for Jamaica, what chance do you think we got of now qualifying? Yeah. Do you think you're going to do well in the World Cup now, that you've got all the elite players now playing for them?
just to touch what you're saying, I think part of it is everything, it's a collection. So again, putting that on one player is difficult.
Yes, it is. But, you are correct. I was wrong there.
Yeah, no. I know what you're saying. I know what you get to. And again, if I'm the only one let's say I'm 21 and I'm there now, and I made it to the top, and I've got 2 countries, and I'm looking about and I'm saying, yo, it's still only me. Like, even when they're calling it and saying they're man at the level, you might say England, but what it needs to be done now is from youth ages.
Yes, yeah.
Manage to start having them players in now from youth ages. So you come up together. Again, when you look at Spain's academy, like you mean the Spanish team, Germany, them lot said, boy, we was predicted to win this World Cup because when we was 14, we was playing. So and them man take pride in playing for the 21s. Like, you know, in England it's about certain man get 18 and then go back to the 21s. Really the first team.
When England won, is that the under 17 World Cup?
Yeah. But even that, what will happen is you'll get, just say you say Trent Alexander was in that under 17 team. Now he's he's only 21. You think he's going under 21 World Cup? No, he's first team anyway. Whereas Spain, Isco, Asensio, Ceballos, all them man still go back and play 21s. They play first team, and when it's a 21s tournament, we're going back down there and we're winning this. Do you know what I mean? And they build that through.
That's why they're getting tournament experience. That's why. Was it Harry Kane that did that?
Is that for Great Britain?
Nah, for England. One of the players that he played for the first team and then went back and played in the under 21s World Cup.
Okay.
I'm sure it was Kane.
Might be, I'm not too
I thought it was Great Britain.
He was too young for Great Britain. That was a while ago, guy.
I'm sure it might have been him.
But might have been sort of with that
whole.
Oh yeah.
But they got rules around it, didn't they? You couldn't play. I think you couldn't have played for England men's team. Or something like that to play in that team. Yeah, so certain players couldn't go and play in it. So that's what messed it all up, really. But because I think they were scared they would just be dominated by England, didn't they? So way to make it fair, I think they said only like 3 non-cap players from each club could play or something. But yeah, I think if they get the infrastructure right, do you know what I mean? So make it not enjoyable, but at 15, 14, so yo, every 3 months, I'm going to Jamaica and I'm going to play. And this is the bag of man I've got with me. All of a sudden now, when we now us pro, I'm at Reading, he's at City, he's at Liverpool, he's here, he's in Germany. But we've got that affiliation together to say, yo, let's just keep progressing this thing. And you'll be like the golden generation, you know what I mean? So I think you can't just rely on one man at 21 to say, yeah, do you know what, I'm going to go and do that. But if you build it from a good age, I think you might have more success long term. And that's just my opinion personally.
I think
I've got to cost money there, but then also you've got to look at like the FA as well. Like that, they would need to improve as well.
Yeah, exactly.
The chairman got sacked. What did he say? He said coloured, and he got, or he either sacked or he resigned. I don't know his name, something Clark. And for me, like,
he was the one that said I was in America, and that's what they use. That's the word.
You practically
he said some madness about women as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he said a few things that was a bit mad, like. But for me personally, like you said with the FA, I personally would pick Jamaica. I'm born in England. My dad's German. My mum's Jamaican, so I can pick all 3. Personally, I'm picking Jamaica. The only reason, mainly why I picked Jamaica, is because where I've been raised by my mum, obviously you're raised by Jamaican parents as well, but where I'm raised by my mum, I just feel so loyal to that over than me being in England. Because even though I'm born here, I haven't got no family who's English. I haven't got no one. So sometimes when I see the players singing the national anthem and they're mumbling or they're not really saying it, I can't put myself in that position and be like, God save the Queen. No, God save me. That's what I'll be saying. God save me, my family and the people. It's not about...
that's real.
Do you know what I mean? So for me personally, as a person that I am, I'll just overwrite the whole, like what you said about, the progression. I'm just thinking...
trying to be the top football player at the
I would rather be the man for Jamaica or wherever I'm from and just have that.
Not just that as well. Sometimes it's best to build to be great than join something that's great already.
That's true.
And like with Ireland and Jamaica, these sort of teams here that will need players like ourselves, like you're saying, if we was pros, to have that mentality where it's like, you know what, bro, instead of being at England where, you know what, I got to score 25 goals this season, otherwise, bro, I'm not even going to get started in that team. Whereas with some of the teams we're looking at, 10, 15 goals is going to get you a starting lineup. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know, man.
Yeah, I definitely feel legacy. Like, again, everyone... Some people do things for money, some people do things to win, and some people do it for legacy. Do you know what I mean? There's probably plenty of people who could have took other jobs, but for pride or whatever they're building. So now, do you know, I'm staying here, and I'm gonna build something, leave my lasting legacy in it. So
do you know what it is as well? Yeah, when you see at the World Cup and the Euros or the friendlies with England and the abuse that the players are getting, I'm thinking to myself, why am I going to represent this country when these men are just abusing me? One minute, Rashford and Nketiah, these men are scoring goals and you're cheering their name and you've got the name on the back of your shirt. Next man, you're throwing a banana and sending them madness on social media. Do I really want that for me and my family?
But that goes again to how we see things because we're in England.
Yeah.
Who's telling you this is not going to happen in Jamaica?
That's what I was going to say.
What's going to happen?
Now, to be fair, you might not see the racing thing, but if you look at Marseille yesterday, you see the fans storming the
Bronson off the thing,
yeah, so it could, and again, you look at Colombia, and that man come back from the World Cup and got killed.
I can give a personal experience on this. I didn't want to say this, but like, I remember I was playing in the derby, Torquay versus Exeter, you understand?
Yeah.
And I can remember when I was playing against Exeter, you know, a chance come to my head and it went just wide, bang.
You surprised?
I've seen this man miss on the line in the 6-yard box. That's fact as well.
I see that man got to you already.
So I've never seen you miss on the 6-yard box.
Stay off the drink, look. Not me. You know that. You see your twin. You know what I'm on about. Right. Anyway, let me just say, yeah. So, you know, I just missed the post. You understand? Anyway, the second opportunity came, and I headed the ball when it hit the post, and next minute I'm saying boo, boo. That wasn't even the Exeter fans. That was Torquay fans. We weren't fans. So, and I can remember like within 10 minutes later, you know, I don't think I was. You know, this is me being biased, most probably. Yeah. I don't think I was having a bad game, but because of the abuse I was receiving from my own fans, my manager had to take me off. Right, and then that took me 3 months or 4 months to get back in the team. Do you understand? Because of that situation, and people don't understand how that can affect your career. Yeah. Do you understand? That might, you know, I was that close. I can remember, you know, thank you, Tony, for doing David Graham. They didn't turn up on purpose to the game when we had to go York. You understand? And I ended up getting on the bench because, you know, he needed to fill the squad, and then I was the next striker, and I was something like the 5th or 6th pick down the line. This is 3 months down the line. I came on the pitch for 3 minutes. The ball went through against York. I can remember I've gone through when the man was rapid. I went through, yeah, and when I went through, I remember scoring a goal. Within 3 minutes, I saved my career. Not knowing I've saved my career. This was going to be the end of, you know, the so-called Marcus Richardson's career in professional football. Might have made it later on in life, I don't know. Again, but I'm saying at that time, I saved my career. And then the next 4 or 5 games, I think we played the last 5, 6, I scored in virtually every game. And that saved my career as a professional footballer. And then, you know, the same person who the fans were booing at, and they were cheering on. You understand? But I was new to this environment. You understand? I'm, like you said, I'm from a different culture to others, realistically I was. So I was from where I was doing what I was doing at the time, and next minute, bang, it happened quickly. I'm a professional footballer. And next minute I've got to act like a professional where I never knew how to be a professional, if that makes sense. I never had the academy or growing through certain things. I the street man, like street footballer. I was most probably one of the first, you know, street footballers from Reading to make it. Huh?
No, I said, was you on Wayne Rooney street soccer thing?
Yeah, whatever you want to say, right? But no, but that's what I'm trying to say to you. Like, this is what happens in football. Yeah. So everybody goes through things. So it's how you want to look at it realistically.
How you bounce back as well.
Yes. And that's.
We should bring that to the next thing as well.
Yeah. Sorry.
You said about Trent, you know what I mean? He's a man that bounced back.
Yeah.
When man go through these bad form and whatnot.
You know what I'm saying? These men always turn into something to do a little.
As he said to me the other day, yeah, like obviously,
is it not relevant?
When I spoke to him, he's like,
yeah,
but I'm not really used to taking all this banter. Obviously, you've been taking it for years, isn't it? But recently, when they've got good again,
I'm not talking about Liverpool as a team, yeah. I'm saying you lot was drawing Trent out.
Yeah, but he's shit. Defensively, is he shit?
What?
Defensively, he's not shit.
Listen,
why is
we're
it?
still on the topic.
No. I'm just saying, wait there, because obviously he just brought up Trent there. What I'm going to say is he's a very good player going forward, but defensively,
he's not shit.
He's not shit.
Yeah, he's not shit.
He's better going attacking.
And the situation you have to ask yourself, and this what you just asked, he's only as good as the person who can make him go backwards, if that makes sense. So if no one can't make him go backwards, you understand?
yeah, no, but obviously
He's a great man.
I've seen him get skinned on numerous occasions. The only reason he looks much better. No, I don't smoke rum. I drink rum.
Sorry.
No, but basically just getting back to like what they were saying, like sometimes you can criticise a man, it takes 1 or 2 games and then you can change the whole outcome of everything.
It's true.
Marcus, just 1 second, touching upon what you just said, because I think that was important about that 3 minutes when the fans were booing you. What was your thought? What was going through your head? Did you, because if that was me, I'm partly thinking, bun this, I'm not even doing it.
Yeah, boy, Moses said I walked up.
What was your original thought? Because that must have been mad.
So,
is that the first time this happened, hit you hard?
yeah, it did. It was weird. So I'm not going to make it sound like it wasn't. I can remember, as I said, it was at Plainall Ground. I can remember just in front. It was like, I think it was corner the first one. The second time it was a guy called Kevin Hill crossed the ball, and I can remember diving in, and I can remember just them booing at me. So that wasn't the 3 minutes. That was just me starting the game and missing chances, and the fans just going having a go. No? Yeah. So as I said, it was bad. It's hard because it's your love.
Yeah.
What people fail to understand, now this has become a job. People don't understand how difficult it is. Something that you love is now become your job, and how difficult it's becoming because all you want to do is play football.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I'm not, realistically, it's not I don't care about the fans or nothing like that. I just want to play football. I want to enjoy football. This is my love. This is, do you know where I've come from to get here? No, you don't. Do you understand? I had to put in real groundwork, but then it happened. I'm not going to tell nobody I wasn't wrong, because at the end of the day, you pay your money to come and watch me. If I'm not producing, I've got to make a point to the manager now, right? The fans, get him off. What are you doing playing him? Because he's not up to the standard I feel. So I had to then go, like you said just a minute ago, I could have folded. I could have easily folded. I had to work on my own personal game. I'm training. Imagine, the first team's training here. I'm over there training with people who've got no chance of getting in the first team, and I know that. And it got to that stage, and I'm looking around and went, my career's over. I've only been in the game a year. And
how old was you?
I was 24 at the time. I just turned 24, playing for Torquay. It was around sort of Christmas time, I think it was, when this happened. And the next minute, October it was. October, November. Now I haven't played football for 3-4 months. I'm just training every day. Man's vexed that I'm on a bro, I want to play.
Was they giving you a reason why they're not playing? Or was it like an indirect cover up?
You know what was? So, and it's my fault, partly this. I turned a professional footballer, and I didn't know about the lifestyle. So everything came at me at 100 miles an hour. So I wasn't used to it. So I've just come from, living the way I was living. But now, I'm going out. I'm, doing things I've never done before. I wasn't really, my friends were telling me, I was a person who really went in town when I was a youngster. Like, we used to think, that's a racist man thing, racist black man, I go to them places there. Black man don't go to the things, blah, blah, blah. We didn't, I can't bring soda in it, but we never went town. We would go straight, most probably, back then, straight to RG1 to straight up. We never went to bars or went for food and all stuff like that. So all this became new to me. Do you understand? And then I got a little touch for it, and man want to do it all the time. So it got to, and that's what got to stage. So I was doing it all the time, and they got to hear about it because the chairman was like he was big in Torquay area, and he got to hear like Marcus out all the time. Marcus is partying. Well, I was out. It was out early Saturdays. Yeah. But you know, I was partying like a rock star. You understand?
We're gonna get the Marcus Newcastle Chronicles and podcast.
I was living for today, and I wasn't understanding what it took to be a professional. You understand? Because I was never taught it. So, and it was respect to one of my boys who I got to know very well, a guy called Ruben Hazel, was the one who taught me a lot. If it wasn't for him saying to me, Marcus, no, you can't be this way. No, you can't be that. Back in the day, man wasn't allowed to run joke on me. I didn't know about jokes. I didn't know about banter. You run a joke on me, you mad. You mad, I'll whack you up. You understand? And that's even my close boys didn't run a joke on me back in the day. And now I'm into football, man's running banter on me, and I went banter like, run a joke, and I'm like, you can't run a joke on me. I don't take joke. You understand? And it wasn't, I was new to it. You understand? And I remember saying to a guy, to me, I'll beat you up. I don't care about this football team. I'll beat you up and let's go back to doing what I do. And Ruben heard that said to me one day, Marcus, you can't do that. You like this don't happen in football. That's called banter. I was like, what's banter? That's not what's banter. I don't know what banter is. Man don't do banter. You get me? But that's not banter enough. And I've got to realise what it's about. And most probably, since then, no one runs more banter than me. You understand? So I got to understand it, and I got to, ease more, and that's what most probably helped my career. And I'm not saying I had a good career realistically. I just could have done a lot more.
I get you. Just to cut you there, because you mentioned about.
This guy's killing me, man. Hold on.
Sorry. Now, I want to bring everyone in, but again, going back to the Michael Richards documentary, he was talking to Andy Cohen there, and he was saying that I think Andy Cole was quite a big mentor to him, and he said there was a time when he's just hit Man City now, and the first thing he's done is bought a range, and Andy Cole said to him, like, you need to kind of just slow down, innit? You need to relax, especially as a black player. If you go out on this flashy thing, you're going to have that automatic stigma around you as a black player compared to if you're a white player. Would you say you guys have noticed that in football a lot, where media particularly plays on things when it comes to black? Because they said
100%.
Phil Foden.
I was just about to say that the Phil Foden Sterling thing.
Yeah, like that's a prime situation. I think they said Phil Foden. What's that for his mum?
And then Raheem Sterling did the same thing, but they worded it completely different.
Yeah.
Obviously, they didn't like Sterling, anyway. It's probably because he's Jamaican for true. Man he had the gun on his leg. They was onto him. They hated him.
People fail to understand people, if that makes sense, and it's cultures. We all live different cultures. Not all of us. Black people understand each other's cultures. We may not understand the Polish culture. You understand? We may not understand the Asian culture. People is understanding cultures, and people are ignorant to not understand. Now, no disrespect, we've got to, into a certain degree, understand many people's cultures, and we're quite open-minded. So I don't want to make up. Am I saying this right? I could be saying it completely all wrong at this moment in time, but I feel like we're more willing to understand cultures where it feels like sometimes a person says, "Well, this is my country. You've got to understand me."
You've got to conform to us.
Yeah. So. It's a weird thing.
With that, sometimes it's not even that, because I guarantee James Maddison, he's a swag man. He's a real swag man. I bet he don't get the same stigma as what Raheem Sterling would. They could wear the same tracksuit, and it'd be.
Even before that,
style.
If you look at two players that used to play for Man City, you had Balotelli now, and then you had Stephen Ireland. And Stephen Ireland used to do the same sort of that Balotelli did. He come up with that. What did he have one time? A pink Bentley with Superman on the seats and everything like that.
He's an Ireland.
He used to just do madness. And in the paper, his stuff was always laughed and joked about, like what he was doing. He's a character. My man used to do the same sort of things, and it was always like he was either stunting or he was. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it was always kind of worded in a negative way. Do you get what I'm saying?
Like, and some of it is to do with clubs. They've got to take more responsibility. I know at Watford, so I think it was, I can't remember who it was, someone came from Liverpool to Watford, and obviously at Liverpool he was on big money. I don't want to say a man's name or whatever. Not like I know him, but they obviously the man's business. But he come down to Watford. He came down to Watford, and he had a big Merc or Beam. He had a big car, and Troy Deeney said to him, "Yo, you got to get rid of that." He said, "Because any man here under 21 can only drive like a Polo or a Golf or something like that." He said, "None of these youth players are allowed to have big cars. You got to know where you are in the game. So you might have made your money there, or whatever, but you're coming as a youth player. This is first team stuff, isn't it? You haven't to made it here yet to warrant that." So they had rules at Watford, and again, that could be.
Ferguson's the same, wasn't he?
I
think Alex Ferguson was the same.
There's certain rules in place, and that could be implemented by players. So I mean, the same thing I think at Arsenal, where I can't remember, it was sat on a seat. And Gallas told the man, "Yo, you got to come up. That's Henri seat." Like, and Henri said to him, "Do you know what? Henri said to him, sit there." I think it might be Walker. I can't remember who it was, but someone sat in Henri's seat. And Gallas gone up and said, "Yo, man, come up, man. That's Henri's seat, isn't it?" Like, and sometimes you need the older man to lead things. You know what I mean? So you would look at a Troy Deeney, you know he would have that pattern down to the bottom to say, "Yo, you man here, like this is a long game. Like, yes, you might have made a good bit of money straight away. Whatever, you might have a good signing on bonus, or you might have had an appearance bonus and." Whatever, but when you come in here, you're still an under 21 player. I don't know if it still happens, but I know like Ward Prowse and Luke Shaw are playing first team, and still because they're under 18, they've got to now go and do their bits around the club. So they've got to clean boots or clean out the change room. So when you was under 18s and that, you had them jobs that you'd either be like change room duty for the first team or kit duty. Like that stuff's important.
It keeps them grounded. 100%.
But reference obviously the media and how they. Do you know what I mean? Portray certain things. You can see it's there, innit? Like Pogba gets it, and Pogba's probably one of the most humble. Like he's not in trouble. You don't see, Pogba out nowhere. Like, do you know what I mean? You don't see. Again, I know them man will go places and will be under wraps and do what they got to do, but you don't hear no bad stories about Pogba. You don't hear nothing about the man. Sure. As far as you are concerned, Pogba is a model professional like Ronaldo. You don't hear nothing bad about Pogba, but the man could put one line in his hair
and Graham Souness
and it's on the man onto him. But then Souness one in, boy. Look at Grealish, but then she's got the hair there, with those socks, like, bruv. And again, but when you watch Grealish, that's just his personality, innit? Like when you look at Grealish, it's just him, innit? So on the pitch, they should have to do what they do, especially when it comes to hair. It's even in schools, isn't it? Like haircuts are frowned upon. You can't have this. You can't have that. It's like you're saying about the culture thing.
We're judged upon these things. Look at a certain type of way, innit?
And my thing with football, like as I said, yes, it's got better. A million times it's got better. But at the same time, when I reflect on my boys, how much time I spent into them, coaching them about when you go certain places, you've got to carry yourself a certain way. When I'll be real, I've got a couple of boys on my team who are a bit hot-headed, and I cheat against their bad. And they're looking to lose their head at training, wanting to fight. Why are you always doing this to me for? And I'm saying, I'm getting you ready. Because when you go into certain towns, you're going to get referees do the same thing to you or opposition, whatever. So I'll be failing you now if I don't do this stuff to them. So one or two of them know who they are. I cheat against the bad. They've had a shot, keeper saved it. Goal kick. What? And they're losing their mind. And it's just training, and it shouldn't be like that. Because again, I've got certain other players on my team who are saying, like, I didn't experience these things when I played for Winners Rages or whatever like that. Do you know what I mean? And it's from the time they notice it, I know it's noticeable. But like, it's everything in it. So again, when I take them places, so for me, it's about educating them. So every week last year we had 1 day in the gym. So we done 1 day training with footballs, 1 day in the gym. So before I even get in there, it's a public gym. Don't let me hear no complaints, because you know what? The moment you lot are too loud, a couple of people are going to complain. They're going to say to the guy who's letting us in, right, you lot got to take them boys out. So it's harsh because it's almost telling them you can't be yourselves. But at the same time, as their mentor, I kind of know.
Show them discipline, though.
No, listen, Guns, I think you've done a great job in what you're talking about and with the kids. You understand? Because that's sort of, me and you talked about this before. Like, and you know, like 1 or 2 players who I'm going to talk about here quickly as well. So when I work at Reading Community Trust, we mainly work with like people who's been kicked out of school and stuff like that. So kids is from not the best of backgrounds, you understand? But we do have people from good backgrounds who are just as bad as well, by the way. And I had to look at a way of sort of getting them to sort of work with us. And you've got to think they've lived, and we used to our own way. So they've lived away for 16, 17 years. Like, no, it's my way or no way. And I've I changed that mindset. I had to change that mindset. You understand? Like, I'm going to use it for Jermaine was one of the perfect examples. Jermaine would tell you, me and him never got on enough times, arguing, blah, 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 this and that. But if you see Jermaine now, this guy's not the same guy. He's got respect. How are you? Blah, blah, blah. If you saw what we had to go through to get there, no one has to see behind the scenes where me and him having an argument and he's walked off and blah, 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 and I said, get off the training field, and he's sulking, and next minute me and him had spoke for 2 weeks. You understand? But one thing I believed in is never giving up on them. Do you understand? I do not believe in giving up on these kids. I believe they need consistency in their life. And once you get consistency in your life, they will keep on understanding, wait there, you know what? Gums is never going to let me down. Do you understand? And that's what it is mainly in life, I think, with youngsters. They've never had consistency. And I'm sorry, my bad.
I think what we're going to do, obviously we've touched upon racism in football, mainly talking from the professional standard. So I think what we'll do is do an episode 2 next week and talk about racism from the grassroots standard, because I think we've all got some type of scenario or situation or experience that we can talk about. So we'll wrap up this session today. If everyone can tune in next week, like I said, like and subscribe to Give Back TV, and we'll call it a wrap.
Pull up.